Everybody, it's Christy Axe here, and look who I have the pleasure of having next to me right now. It's the one and only James Toseland. Now, I'm having quite a fan moment here. I have followed you for a long time, and way back, obviously, in like 2009.
You don't look old enough.
What's that?
You don't look old enough.
I am, honestly. There's a lot of makeup going on. Thank you. And MotoGP days is where I was having my 2009 fan moment over you. So I'm just really grateful for you being here. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you. How are you anyway? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. It's been a while since I've been to the Motorcycle Live show, and I'm here to kind of announce that I'm hosting the FIM Awards next weekend. On the 2nd. This will be the third time I've kind of hosted that. And it's such an incredible event to be involved in. And have the honour of hosting it is such a big thing for me.
Absolutely.
Like last year, I gave Valentino Rossi his lifetime achievement.
Yes.
I mean, just that alone.
That's a highlight for most people, you know. And that's really good that you've mentioned that, because it highlights really what I was going to mention about transitioning from rider and being interviewed to actually doing the interviewing and commanding it yourself in the pundit and the commentator role. How did that evolve for you?
It's not easy, is it?
No,
it's
I hate it.
It's much easier answering the question to asking, and it did take a long time to get into the mentality where right now you're listening to what I'm saying and you've got your questions jotted down, but you may be thinking about what to ask me next, but you're also listening to what I'm saying. Maybe a better question might come from what I'm saying right now.
Absolutely.
So there's a real technique to that,
Yeah.
of listening to the rider. Sometimes when you've got the ambient noise like this at the racetrack, it's not easy or impossible to hear the answer, so you've just got to go on script. But it is really, it took me a while to get used to that.
I think that's one thing that's in my sort of minimal, experience in it. The one thing that I do struggle with is while we're talking here, just like you said, I've got little notes going, right, I want to ask this, want to ask that. But you can't always predict people's answers and what tangent that kind of goes on. And like you say, whilst I'm trying to listen to you as well, and then think, right, what's my next question?
And if you've been interviewed a lot, you give an extended answer to allow that person that's interviewing you the option.
Yeah, just kind of like it's really literally into like actors as well, and what they do, kind of living in the moment, but like you say, creating an opportunity, knowing that,
having a plan B, just in case, because I've just interviewed Bobby.
Yes.
How
was that?
Well, he gets quite nervous,
Yeah.
And he always has done. So because of his nerves, he gives quite short answers.
Yeah.
And the FIM asked me to ask him 3 questions for a 2 or 3 minute interview.
Yeah.
Well, I know you need at least 6 people,
to get him over and to get him back then.
To do a 2 or 3 minute video.
Absolutely.
And also that's something that you kind of got used to as well. Who you into, like I do with gridwalks.
Yeah.
When I go to Tom Bradford's guys, I'll go on the grid. I know he's really gracious, and he'll give me 2 or 3 questions, 2, 3 maximum.
Yeah.
Whereas other riders, I know they'll get annoyed if I ask them 2.
Yeah.
So just 1.
Yeah.
We're off.
One and done, I think is a good term there. But it's great to see you, evolving from it. There hasn't been that many successful riders going into sort of commentary, doing interviews and pundits. So, like I just said, what was the first moment that gave you the opportunity to evolve into it?
When I finished racing a couple of years after I retired, 2013-14, BT Sport then took over from the BBC to broadcast MotoGP, and they wanted a whole new team.
Yeah.
So they asked me to be involved with Neil Hodgson and Colin Edwards, with Mel Sykes at the beginning. I don't know if you remember Mel.
I do actually, yes.
So that was the first kind of like introduction. And because Mel wasn't overly experienced at motorcycle racing, I had to there was a lot of responsibility on my shoulders to present and to ask questions to the riders, which I knew that she would have that knowledge.
It's more technical, and I'm not even sure if Mel even rides. It's even myself. I'm a rider. Technically, with the bikes, I'm more of a get on it, feel it, enjoy the ride. So even like doing this now, I couldn't go into depth about technical questions with you. So
you've got a conversation. You've got a conversation.
But we talk.
And that's where it was really difficult. Live television is so tough. Mel's a professional, so she was able to hear the cues and where to go next and all the rest of it in the ear, and while you're listening and talking, that isn't an easy cue.
It's multitasking, James.
Yeah,
Not a lot of people can do it.
Especially me.
I would, if anyone the gender thing, but yeah, especially men.
and honestly, that takes some getting used to. It's like, if I can kind of like describe what live television is like, listening, your cues, how long you've got. Because usually I have about 7 or 8 minutes for a good walk, and every 15 seconds or every 30 seconds, I've got a lady in my 7.5, 6.5, whatever.
I don't think I could actually do it, and like you say, concentrate as well on creating good content and on live telly, which is knowing that everyone is watching. But I suppose you're used to that by being in the moment. I mean, if there's one thing that bike riding you have to be, especially at your level, is in the moment. If you're thinking of something else, I'm sure you're gone. So absolutely.
So one thing I can kind of like relate it to is piano playing.
Yes.
You might not.
I do. Yeah.
Wouldn't kind of correlate to that. Is separating your left hand from your right hand as you play.
Doing it, yeah, and then combining the two.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I do.
I'm listening here, but I'm concentrating here.
Yeah.
To do both, it's exactly the same as playing, which is a bit of a weird thing, but that's how I kind of approach it.
How long do you think it's taken you to really kind of think? Obviously, you can see now when you're doing all your work for Eurosport and ITV, you can see how in your stride you are with it. How long do you think it did take you to really perfect it?
Well, I've had two new roles this year, gridwalks and interviews.
Yeah.
And as soon as I did my first gridwalk, you know when you feel that you're comfortable and you can be good at it.
Yes.
And that gives you that level of excitement that you can be good at what you do.
Absolutely.
Because as a pundit, when I stand next to the presenter and I'm just answering questions, it's quite pedestrian.
Yes.
Because I'm just kind of like reacting.
Yeah.
Whereas the gridwalks and interviews, you're proactively.
You are picking out what you can ask people, creating the interviews and the questions, and obviously catching people not off guard, but they're busy as well.
Yeah, you can't plan it.
No.
You can't plan it at all. So it's edgy. You don't know what's coming. And you get a bit nervous.
Yeah.
Like just before, like coming to you, James, in 5 or.
And that tummy rumble, and they're like, oh no, don't.
Right?
It's not
If
that
anybody's
easy.
watching this, right?
Yeah.
After this, just set your stopwatch for 8 minutes and try and chat.
No, because we're already on 7:30. I know already.
Finish a gridwalk here now. And I'm still
I'd
chatting.
be off. Yeah, I know. I'd be off. I'd be long gone of it. So.
It's tough, but like I said, it's those new roles that I've had this year are roles that I'm able to make them my own.
Yes, absolutely.
Whereas the pundit, just answering questions, it's great. You know, I love it with Rachel and Matt.
Yeah.
Rachel's Strickland this year. That's been great. I've worked with many presenters, great presenters, Susie Perry, obviously,
The goddess that is Susie Perry, who is my ultimate, I'm still waiting for you to retire, so I can just, because you're going to put a good word in for me, aren't you, James? This is the reason that we're doing this. So, very quickly, let's quickly chat about your successful and amazing motorbike career. I mean, World Superbike champion, double Superbike champion for 2 different teams. One other person's done that, I think. Is that Troy, is it? Yeah, so.
Your homework.
I've done my homework. I'm just reading it actually. So, and then you did, I think, what everybody's dream was, and that was transitioning into MotoGP. Everyone's dream. What was it like? How can you kind of compare the two? Are they 2 totally different worlds?
Riding similar, obviously.
Yeah.